the COROS Pod 2. So I'm gonna be using this for a couple of days here, and this is all the stuff that it comes with. So a couple clips, and then one of these rubber bandy bits that you can clip on to do the running form test. So we're going to perform those, and it also comes with a extra, this is like the charging case that it comes with. So if you lose this, you're kind of out of luck. You got USB-C here, as well as a USB-C to USB-A cable. So you can use any USB-C cable to plug in here to charge it. But you do need to remember where this is and not lose this. A little bit of a bummer. I don't think it charges wirelessly like the Stride Pod does. And then it also only records or only works because it's calibrated specifically for running. It does not work for walking, sadly. So distance, put pod on, 94% battery. It's still turning red every single time I walk. 0.32 versus 0.14. It stopped tracking distance. It's no longer tracking anything. Not sure why, but it is counting cadence seemingly, but no distance while walking. Bit of a bummer, but we will test this out and see what kind of information you can grab out of this. Also, it's supposed to be good for grabbing GPS or like data speed wise, not as slow as just using and looking at your GPS watch. So it's supposed to grab more accurate data, especially when running in cities and different things like that, because the GPS data won't be as good. It'll be trying to take information from this. So we're gonna test this out and see how useful this ends up being. This is $99, no discounts, no nothing like that. And this is the version 2 that they have thus far in 2025. Now that I've sufficiently warmed up, we have the pod here on my back here. So that's the other way that you can actually use this. The other way is to put it on your shoelace, and essentially you get more data from putting it on your back than on your shoes. So I would not recommend buying this unless you're just trying to get it for pace, instant pace when you're running in the city or something like that, or in the mountains or maybe something like that. But finishing our warm-up here, and going to do the running form test, which is 5 minutes warm-up, 5 minutes of actual running. So all of this warming up is prepping me for a less than how long I'm gonna run. So let's go ahead and do that and show you the details of our lovely form test. So I got a 73 for my score, whatever that means. I guess I'll click OK. It also gives you an option to press the back button if you want to continue warming up. So we'll click yes. We'll select our shoes, our equipment, and then it's saved. So there's our running form score, 73, and ran for 10 minutes, and at 7:24 pace. So there's that. We'll sync this up with my phone, and we'll get some details. Oh, also, like if you wear your pod, after you're done running, it'll notify you so that you can stop wasting your battery. So screen record this here so that we can see what's going on. Running form score 73, cadence 161, stride length 4 feet 40 or 4.43 feet, ground time 260 milliseconds. Then it says my average pace, activity time, distance, what have you. And then it shows evaluation criteria: skill 66.2, strength 70.4, balance 92.
and it says your running form category is ground runner with good strength, average skill, and good left-right balance. Okay. Then it gives me just some of my pace data here, which is fine, and then all the data that I have here, and then more of the left-right balance aspects, stride ratio, strike angle, which is interesting, leg stiffness, peak ground reaction force, all of that information. We can go into the info here to see what this actually means. Okay, so basically where it aligns with you actually stepping down and pushing off. You can make this better. And then leg stiffness, some details around that. Okay. What is in here? There was another assessment details here. So it gives you the score, and then it gives you all the information of where you lie in terms of skill. So I'm apparently not a very skillful form runner. And then, yeah, I have average leg stiffness, and then a great peak ground reaction force. And then I have good left-right balance, seemingly, with more on my right foot than my left foot. So that's all the information that it seemed to give me, which I guess can be useful. It would be good to know, like, if there are strength workouts or different things like that that you can do to make this score better. I'm sure if I do this more than once, it'll give me varying details of my form and what have you. But interesting nonetheless. I don't know how useful this information is. To me, I don't find this really useful at all. Overall, is this COROS pod 2 useful? It can be, but like you can also get into data analysis, like paralysis kind of deal, where you just get too much data and you don't really know what to do with it. So I'd imagine that this puts you in a place where it's not super helpful for you. I feel like if you are running into running injuries, this might be something that helps you get to a better place. But again, I don't know how accurate this is. So like, if you're trying to fix something, is this actually going to help you or not? I don't know. So to me, it's just too much data. I feel like you can probably video record yourself and see visually what's better or worse about your form. And on a treadmill, it's just more controlled. It's not outside, but I feel like that's probably a better spot to get more updates and what have you in terms of analyzing your form. But what do I know? I'm not, a run coach or anything like that. I've been running for a long time, but I've never really done a lot of analysis on my particular form. And yeah, I don't know, with watching, really good runners and what have you, how this can really help you. It possibly could, but again, you probably need a running coach and a lot of looking at things about your biomechanics to help you. Also, if you're running into injuries, this can also probably help you too. And trying to figure out if you are fixing the issue to begin with.
So just looking at the evaluation, I read this before, but I didn't read it during this video that I was showing you. So it says, your running form category is ground runner, skill average, ground time excessive, strike angle large, stride ratio moderate. It is recommended to reduce ground time and adjust the foot strike to be closer to the torso. So basically, your foot strike should be right underneath you when you're running. And then it goes into strength, good, leg stiffness, weaker, low energy, rebound efficiency, target eccentric, strength training for the legs is recommended. So it is telling me things to do to fix some of these issues. And then it goes into ground left right balance, or sorry, good left right balance, recommends maintaining current form. So again, like that's contradictory to what it just said. And then it goes moderate risk of injury is suggested by your current running form. Although injury risks varies on an individual basis, it is recommended to monitor volume to prevent overtraining. Meanwhile, adjust the foot strike to be closer to the torso and improve your running economy. So, I don't know if that's helpful. Again, I think if it mentions, target eccentric strength training and it gives you, hey, to fix this, do these 2 or 3 training exercises and this will help you. Retake the test and then bam, we'll see if this fixes it in a couple of weeks. So I think that's one thing to note here is that it is saying this, and it also, COROS has given updates to give you strength workouts and after, like a bunch of different workouts within the app that it has. So if it could piggyback off of this and actually determine something for you to do, like an action to try to prevent injuries and different things like that, improve your form, work on cadence, different things like that, then I think the product is worth it to help out. But I just think there's not enough information, not enough data that is providing you in terms of like actions. Like, tell me what to do and tell me how to fix it, that sort of thing. But yeah, that's something that I didn't mention here, but I just wanted to cover before closing out.
But with that said, let me know what your thoughts are. I think this is just too much data, but I think it's interesting with this pod that, you can hook it up to your waist and you can hook it up to your foot, and it will give you a variance of data and it'll change the data. Like, I can't get this information if I put this on my foot, which is strange to me. Maybe there's some information around that and reasons why, but I just don't know what they are. So yeah, if you know, feel free to comment below and let me know what your thoughts are. I think for $99, I think there's a huge pass on this. Like, there's no discounts on this or anything like that, and there's not a lot of these available online, like on the used market, and I don't know how useful, like in comparison to this versus the Stride FootPod, I don't know if there's like a benefit one versus the other. I think the Stride is much more expensive and it can connect to many different devices, but I don't know accuracy if one is better than the other in terms of pace, but I just don't find this super useful. It might be useful if you Zwift and need something to actually accurately do pace, because this does do pace when you're running inside, but I haven't found it super accurate when I'm just walking, because I actually wanted to buy this for my wife and give her to test it out to see if it works when she's walking. But when I've been doing it, it's just not been great. So yeah, to me, not worth it. Just too much data and doesn't do what I would want it to do. But we'll see you in the next video. Thank you for watching.